Welcome to the Start Somewhere podcast, the show that empowers women through mindset and manifestation. I'm your host, life and business mentor, Isabelle Prestia. And through my personal stories and insightful episodes, I help you fight fear, cultivate confidence, and feel empowered. If you're looking to live life on your terms, feel successful, and create abundance, you must first become a high-value woman. Luckily, this podcast shows you how to start, whether it's building a business, manifesting your dream partner, and becoming emotionally and financially fulfilled. So, are you ready to take the first step towards creating your reality? Let's start somewhere together. Hi guys, and welcome back to the podcast. My name is Isabelle. If you are new here, hello, welcome. I'm so happy to have you in our space, and to all of my long-time listeners, I am forever grateful for your continuous support of the podcast. I'm honestly never going to get tired of saying that or thanking you, and gratitude can just go the longest way to exist. So if you are new here, I'm Isabelle, as I just shared, and I help women in power through mindset and manifestation. We are taking a very exciting new path with the podcast, with my content, with my coaching, and all the good things. So if you are new here, you've come at the most exciting time. And if you're a long-time listener, then I'm just so excited to continue to take you on this whole journey with me. And this new pathway is on a topic that it speaks to my soul, and I've been wanting to share more on this topic for the longest time. However, I've just been doing my own learning, my own healing, my own growing. And I do truly feel like I'm at a point, it just feels so aligned and so right. You know, that intuition feeling when you can just like feel it in your heart, in your gut, in your soul, it's just the right thing to do. And that is exactly what this is. And this is all about learning how to embody your feminine power, elevate your lifestyle, and build your success. So I'm really stepping more into this female embodiment, female leadership, healer role. And I haven't found the words yet to express how right and how fulfilling it feels. And this is so important because I feel now more than ever, we as women, we as humans in this world, we want to live and be and feel emotionally fulfilled, right? In whatever way that means to you. And when I was really playing with this whole idea, I'm not a very erratic, spontaneous person when it comes to my business, because I truly believe sleep on decisions, be kind, be gentle, be slow. And this like completely reflects and also represents this whole new world we're about to dive into. I'm so beyond excited. And when I was really playing with this idea, it honestly came to me a few days ago as I'm recording this. For context, it's almost the end of April as I'm recording this. And I got this idea and I was like, no, like I shouldn't be changing gears. Like I was kind of telling myself it's wrong in a way. And I was like, let me just do what I do best. Let me just do what I would tell somebody else, which is to sleep on it, which is to sit on the decision and just to see how it feels. And so I did a huge brain dump. I mapped it all out. I was just, all of these ideas were coming out of me when it comes to female empowerment and how to be more in your divine feminine energy. And I was just getting like, my brain was running faster than like what my fingers could type or what I could write out in my journal. And that's how I knew it was it. That's how I knew it was something. And because I'm just full of all this energy, as I'm recording this as well right now, we have just come out of the new moon. We are in Taurus season. We had an eclipse season. We are now well and truly into the astrology part of the year. So, obviously New Year, January, but when it comes to the astrology season, the last of that is Pisces. So that was Pisces season. So now we've left Pisces, obviously. We went all through Aries season. And now, as I'm recording this, and as I'm sure this goes up as well, we are in Taurus season. And this is all about this beautiful grounding energy, this beautiful divine feminine energy, which is like so, this message, this new pathway for me, it's so divinely orchestrated from the divine, from the universe. It's come at the most perfect timing. And for context, I have really just been throwing myself in this whole world of feminine energy for about 18 months now. And I really was reluctant to share some things because I'm like, I'm still figuring this out. And for my longtime listeners, you know that I do have a few episodes actually on the podcast all on this topic. So if you love this topic, there's already quite a few episodes from back in the past. So I will link them below in the show notes to make it more convenient for you, but definitely go search them yourself as well, if I do forget to comment a few. But essentially, I am following on this excitement, this vibrancy, this energy, this groundingness, just all the good feels that I have honestly just stepped into now. And I'm going to be sharing a free masterclass all on the topic of divine feminine energy. This is going to be all about becoming a high value woman, how to harness this divine feminine energy specifically for emotional fulfillment, right? Because it's been 3 years since lockdown. We're entering a recession, all these like negative doom and gloom news topics here, which I'm actually kind of surprised I said that right now. But now more than ever, like I know me personally, and I just know in my soul that so many of the listeners as well, we crave to feel fulfilled in our life. And this can be in such an array of ways, right? And when I was tapping into this, when I was really just like getting clear on what this is, it truly comes from harnessing your divine feminine energy. And before I essentially unleash this inner feminine power that we all have within us, both males and females, it wasn't until I worked and got clear how to overcome limiting beliefs, how to manifest more abundance, how to just manifest full stop. And it just always comes back to this beautiful, divine, feminine energy, both the light and the dark. And it is just the most expansive, nurturing, like warm, loving topic. And I'm going to guide you every step of the way, how you can start to do these things. And some things will land, some things won't. And that is perfectly fine. In fact, we're all different human beings. So I definitely expect that. I've definitely heard and learned things that don't necessarily feel quote unquote right for me, but we find our own, we tailor, we tweak, we do all the things. And essentially, if you're thinking like, okay, Isabelle, like what, like what's going on? Ask yourself this. If you answer yes to any of these, then I guarantee this is a topic that your soul, your heart is craving, is desiring, is just wanting to learn more about. So just ask yourself, do you want to start to feel more fulfilled in yourself, in love, in romance, in your friendships? Maybe it's more feeling fulfilled in creating your own stability, right? So whether this is internal, external, mental, physical, you want to feel strong and secure from within, right? You want to have the ability to navigate tricky times, whether these are things like difficulties, conflict, and dramas. These can be things such as like friendship losses, breakups, workplace difficulties, or our own self-destructive thoughts. Well, this is like what really got me, and this is really what kind of put me on this whole journey. It's making peace with loss, whether this is heartache, betrayal, unexpected endings. I don't know about you, but I speak to a few of my friends as well, and they feel this, I feel this. Those unexpected endings, whether it's friendships or jobs or a relationship or anything else that's out of our control, it just ends like that. And it's like we're not mentally prepared for it. And that's honestly what hurts us the most, because of course, when we can prepare for something, it's never as bad as when it kind of just comes out of nowhere and slaps us in the face, right? But imagine having the tools, which are honestly right within you right now, to make peace with these endings. Because the thing with life is the only thing that is certain about life is change, right? So just like let that settle for a minute, let that sink in. Life is about continuous evolvement, changes. That is the only thing certain. So imagine if you could now make peace with that change. A huge part as well. Do you just want to trust yourself more? You want to back yourself. You want to be even more reconnected, right? So these are just some of the many incredible things that you're going to experience when you do tap more into your feminine energy. So if you're excited, stick around, because this is something that I'm going to be sharing about so much more in the podcast, on my Instagram. If you're not already following me there, my content has just had a complete glow up. I'm so thrilled and feel so energized to share all of this new content with you. For context as well, in episode 100, huge milestone, so bloody proud of that, I shared all on my slow, gentle habits. I announced I was essentially entering this kind of new era in my life, which I'm calling my soft girl era. And we can just see like this transition was honestly right in front of my eyes, right in front of your eyes, like it was coming. And it feels so right. Like there's proof in the pudding here. Go back on my content, my past episodes. Like this has just been the most beautiful, divine manifestation, right? Essentially, without me even realizing that. I'm just kind of realizing that now. How cool. So if you're just so beyond excited and ready, and you're just like, I want this, like, I just want this. I want to start receiving my ultimate dreams. I want to start establishing a name for myself. I want to start feeling more seen and more heard. I want to feel more empowered, standing in my feminine power, my leadership, being able to embody this divine feminine energy, to feel more successful. Follow that pull, my love. Follow that pull. Continue listening. Continue being in my world, because I don't know if you can like hear or feel the energy right now, but like I can definitely feel that. And I just know that this is going to resonate to so many women. I know this is going to be attracting so many more women into my world, into my community, into Start Somewhere, into the society, my free private Facebook group. Definitely jump in there if you're a fan of the podcast, because I know I'm calling it. By the end of this year, by the end of 2023, the success, the momentum, the growth that myself, yourself, from tuning into this podcast, from staying in this world, are going to experience is going to be twice as much than what you anticipated. Right? I'm calling that, I'm claiming that, I'm setting that affirmation for myself, for you who's tuning into this episode right now. Like I'm connecting with you right now. And so just drop in, let's just take a deep breath. Whatever you're doing, you're walking, you're driving, you're sitting, you're standing, you're laying down. Just drop in. If you can, close your eyes. If not, put your head on your heart or on your belly, whichever feels more comfortable, and just lock in this new feeling. Lock in this new energy. Lock in this new way that we are going to be moving and living and breathing and being. Because, my love, it will happen for you if you allow it to. If you can receive. If you can be open. And this is the start of how you can unleash your inner feminine power. Hi ladies, just interrupting this podcast episode real quick to ask you this question. Do you want to transform your relationship with money and unlock your wealthy woman mindset? I have completely unraveled and gone down the rabbit hole of money mindset. And guys, the transformational shifts I've received from doing specific journal prompts and money mindset affirmations have brought about tens of thousands of dollars into my life. I'm not even joking. If this sounds exciting, then you are going to want to check out my free money mindset journal prompts. These are designed to help you shift your limiting beliefs around money and step into a more abundant and successful version of yourself. To get these prompts, sign up to Society Mail, which is my email list exclusively for high value women who want to live life on her own terms, feel successful, and create abundance. You will not only get instant access to the money mindset journal prompts, but you will also receive weekly tips and inspiration to help grow your business and elevate your mindset. So what are you waiting for, my love? Sign up for Society Mail today for free and get your free copy of a female entrepreneur's playbook. Unlock your wealthy woman mindset. Wow, this is going to be very expansive and moving, life-changing. I'm calling it. Let's go there. So for a little bit of context, just if you're like, okay, what's going on here, Isabelle? As you know, if you have been keeping up with the latest episodes, if not, I definitely encourage you to do that. It's so beautiful because a lot of new listeners who find the show and they DM me, a lot of them start from episode 1 and they start from that journey and they follow me there. And, this is a storytelling form of content. A lot of the episodes are over 30 minutes. It's a really beautiful way to catch up and to speak slowly and to share a message that isn't in a form of a 15 or 30-second reel or TikTok. And it really allows connection, right? Connection is one of my top 2 values. And so it's no surprise the podcast has been honestly a huge part of my life since 2020, since it started. And it's so moving to see how much this podcast has changed me, how much it's changed the listeners, and how much it's continuously going to change, right? Coming back to what I just shared, life is about changing. So for context, a couple weeks ago, I did a social media detox. I completely restrained myself from opening and from posting on Instagram and Facebook. And let me tell you, 2 weeks, it was short, it was sweet. I wish it was longer. I honestly did go a little bit longer than the 2 weeks. And the reason I came back is because I was so excited to post, because I just got the most beautiful space and realization in so many areas of my life, not even just business. And when I was really reflecting, especially on planning this episode, I was essentially walking this talk already. As I am, if you're not aware already, I am a coach, I'm a speaker, I'm a podcast host. I love to teach. I love to share. I love to connect. And so I've created a business, a company out of all these things. Start Somewhere is the name. And so it made sense that I'm always going to be a walking embodiment of what I teach, right? Because otherwise that's just unethical and not in integrity. And so it's really interesting because I didn't even realize, by me taking this space, this time away from posting, from doing, from being online, from sharing, from doing all this stuff, I was allowing myself to fall back into my feminine even more. I was embracing this side of me, right? And it wasn't until I really allowed the space for these new transitions and ideas to come forward, because normally when we have a free 5 minutes, maybe in a waiting room, or we're waiting for, I don't know, a friend to pick us up, or we're just waiting, or just passing time, or on public transport, whatever it may be, we fill that time with a little thing we like to call Instagram or TikTok, whatever your poison is. And we feel it's a void, right? And so by me not having an app to instantly go to and to not have something to fill this void, I instead was being. I was truly just being. I was with my thoughts. If I was waiting for something to load on my computer, a few weeks ago, I'd have just opened up Instagram and started scrolling. Whereas now I'm like, that's not what I'm going to do. And it's these really simple shifts that are always overlooked that creates the biggest momentum. And the reason to this is because nobody else is doing them, right? And so when you can be that person who does those things that not the majority of us do, you are going to experience shifts that people will never even experience before in their lifetime, therefore giving you the slight edge. Context, The Slight Edge is my favorite personal development book. I highly recommend anyone to go read it if they're curious and just want to learn more about personal development. So I have been going through, I guess you could say, a huge reset and refresh, both in my internal and my external world. And in this episode, I am going to share how you can start to embody and start to create this reset and this refresh, both in your internal and external worlds. So when I was really reflecting yet again, like, this is all coming back to these beautiful, divine, feminine energy qualities, which I'm going to dive so much deeper into the masterclass I'm going to be sharing, guys. This is a free masterclass. You are 1000% going to want to get involved. I will release more on the dates and the times and all. I just whacked myself in the head with my microphone. All the specifics on my Instagram, in the show notes of this as well, if it is not already up. If not, jump to my Instagram. But I'm going to be sharing this on the podcast for the next couple of weeks. So definitely keep your ear out for that. It will be free. It will be live. There will be a recording, but the recording will not be available forever. So I'm really what I'm going to be sharing is stuff that has truthfully changed my life for the better. It's transformed every area of my life. my connection, my relationship with myself, with my friends, with males, with my family, with work, with making peace, with resting, with working hard, with doing all the things that we put into our life. And I'm going to share some internal practices that you can start to embody right now, because if you are new to this podcast or you haven't been around for too long, I'm a big believer on let's start with the first step, not the entire staircase, right? And this is the fun little way that Start Somewhere came about, because we can hear an episode on this and maybe we've never dabbled on feminine energy before. And I know the feeling. You hear this stuff, you think everything's wrong, you get so overwhelmed and you're like, oh, great, now good. This is a new thing I have to learn about. No. Instead, I want to give you really simple bite-sized practices that are going to be your first steps, right? Because the thing is, we may have a vision, we may have a vision that's broad or not so broad. And by getting really caught up in the specifics, so basically what is at the top of that staircase, a lot of the times it's going to really overwhelm us. And that is a huge part of not being in your feminine energy. That is a huge part of not being in alignment, because you're allowing overwhelm and fear and self-doubt. And then every other negative or low emotion just sees the door open and just starts walking into your mind, right? So instead, and I'm saying this because this used to be me, and that is why I do what I do. I teach what I teach. I allow other women to bypass all of this and just kind of take a beautiful step over it, right? And so instead, what we are going to do is I'm going to be giving you these instant steps that you can take right now, and you can start to see your own progress, your own momentum, and get inspired from that, because you can listen to a podcast like this or any other of your favorite podcasts out there and get so inspired and feel so energized and so motivated and so excited to start doing these things. However, that inspiration doesn't always last forever, right? Have you noticed that? Instead, you should be inspired by yourself, because that is the type of inspiration that is going to form into motivation that is going to help you continue to do the things that you want to do. Okay, so let's jump into the very first internal practice, the first step I want you to take. And that is to really hone in on being single focused. What I mean by this is single task focused. I'm not saying got to become single, right? So single focused, you may think that you're being more productive by having 30 tabs open, by doing 2 things at once, by trying to achieve many different things at the same time. And yeah, you may be getting them done. However, are they at the best quality they could be? And a lot of these points are going to come back to being this high value woman, this high quality woman, right? And by embodying and being this high value person, this new high value version of ourselves, that of course is going to 1000% be replicated and be shown in the work that we do, to the standard that it is, to the quality that it is, right? And so we want to focus on quality, and you can start to embody and start to embrace that by being more single focused in whatever it is that you're doing. Step 2 is by creating new routines and habits. Now, something that I share a lot on the podcast, I tell a lot to myself, and I just truly embody and also believe, is that we know the world goes through seasons. And so, of course, it makes sense that we as human beings are also going to go through these seasons, right? And so what I want you to do is, when you notice this new season coming, and okay, it may not be in congruency to an actual new season, a new weather pattern happening around us, but instead, it might be halfway through the month where you're like, okay, I kind of feel something shifting. I'm getting a little bit sick of this certain morning routine. I'm getting a bit bored of going to the same gym class. Everything feels just a little bit mundane right now. That's fine. That's okay. Let's celebrate that. You've outgrown that new way of being. How can we start to reset? How can we start to refresh? And so ask yourself, okay, what are some new routines or new habits I can start to do? And these things, my love, can be so simple, such as maybe you shower in the evening, but instead you're going to start to shower in the morning. Maybe you have a certain kind of coffee in the morning, but you're going to shift that to the afternoon. Like, that was a weird example, but the point is to really just reset and refresh how you're doing things already. because this is going to get you more energized and more inspired and more excited to start to show up in a different way. And I guarantee you, from creating this new way of being and these new habits, new routines, you're going to feel so confident and so energized. And this is going to ripple on into becoming this high value woman. So these are two really simple internal practices, internal steps that you can take right now. And I'm going to share what the external factors are after this little ad break. Hi ladies, I had to jump in here really quickly to share an exclusive announcement I'm so beyond excited about, and that is on the free masterclass I'm going to be hosting in May. Are you tired of feeling stuck in your business and not seeing the results you desire? Do you struggle with a scarcity mindset, lack confidence, and have limiting beliefs that hold you back from achieving your goals and manifesting abundance? If you're nodding your head and ready to level up your life, you won't want to miss my upcoming free masterclass. This is called How I Used Feminine Branding to Build an 11K per week business. This is going to be a 90-minute masterclass where I will be exposing the pillars of glowing success every high-value woman must know. Ladies, if you are a fan of the podcast, whether you've liked one or many episodes, this is the space that you 1000% need to be in. This is where I'm going to be sharing more on my personal journey of using feminine branding to build a successful business. So in this free masterclass, this is for the woman who is stuck in a scarcity mindset, has low momentum and self-trust, and is time poor, feeling unsure how to start. In the 90-minute class, you will crack the codes and find out how to harness the magnetic feminine energy that you don't even realize is blocked. You're going to also learn how to remove subconscious blocks that are stopping your abundance from flooding in, and how to find ultimate freedom and live life on your terms despite your current lifestyle. And I'm going to be sharing a bonus announcement exclusive in the masterclass first. So if you enjoy these episodes, then you are not going to want to miss out on attending this free 90-minute masterclass. If so, join me live on Monday, May 15th at 4 p.m. ACST. That's Adelaide, South Australia time zone. So we are 30 minutes behind the rest of the east coast of Australia. So 30 minutes behind Queensland, Sydney, and Melbourne, just for reference there. The recording will be available, but only for a short number of days. So I can't keep this out for long. For free, the content I spill is exclusive and high value for the high value woman. So do not wait, ladies. Register now for free by clicking the link in the show notes. Let's unlock your inner power and create the success and abundance you deserve this 2023. See you live on Monday, the 15th of May at 4 p.m. Beautiful, guys. So the external habits and practices that you can take. The first one is, no surprise, a social media detox. Now, when I say this, I want you to not even open the app. I see people, I saw this person post, they did one as well, like a social media detox, but they were still online. Like I could still see them viewing stories and liking photos and commenting. And I just want you to completely reframe yourself from doing any of that, because the whole point of doing a social media detox is not allowing this type of communication, this type of social media in any vicinity of your energy, of your eyes, of your space, of your mental capacity, right? And so this comes from posting, from sharing, from liking, from commenting, from viewing stories. If anything, stop viewing the stories. They're the things that I believe are creating the most, that are taking up the most space in your mind. And I'm not saying it's bad at all. Like, your girl loves to post stories, right? What I'm saying is it's this energy, it's this mental capacity that's taken up in your mind, which, okay, it's not bad, it's not wrong, it's not evil. But if you are wanting changes, if you are wanting to tap into this beautiful feminine energy, this high value woman figure, you must allow more space in your mind, in your life. And culling social media is the easiest, is the simplest, is the best first way to start, because you would just be so pleasantly surprised at how much more energy you have in your life, right? And I made this really intentional when I did my social media detox. And I really set myself goals I wanted to achieve when it came to my business, and I achieved those goals. And then I also set more mindful goals when it came to, which I'm going to get into the second point soon, is being mindful on, okay, let's just go there now. The second point is being extremely mindful of who I give my time to. And I just became so selective and so laser focused on being like, who are the friendships, who are the people around me that have always been there for me and that are always there for me. And it was so interesting to observe when I really wasn't online anymore posting. And, you know, if you do follow me, you probably see me post a story every second day, no, every day, and post all the time. And it was really interesting to see the friends that reached out to me when they realized I wasn't doing that anymore. And I'm like, that's how I know. That's how I know who the real ones are. And I think it's so beautiful to really harness in on that and really just surrounding yourself by quality, by, I truly believe, like right now, an affirmation that I have in front of me, I'm going to read it out, is circle is small, life is private, mind is clear, and heart is happy. And this truly is who I am right now. And this is what I was calling in, honestly, about a month ago. And I just really believe having this really beautiful, high quality, small, intimate circle of the right people around you is so much more powerful. And so I really want you to right now, yeah, start to be extremely mindful of who you give your time to. But more so, I just want you to reflect on who that special person is in your life. Who's that? Maybe it's a longtime friend, it's a best friend, it's your partner, it's a colleague from work, it's somebody who you know truthfully has your best interests at heart, who will always ask how you're doing, who won't take you maybe being distant, or maybe you're just not feeling yourself for a few weeks or months or even longer. And you know they're not going to take that personal, make it mean something about themselves. And they just genuinely want to see you happy and thrive and be there for you. Whoever that person is, I want you to, next time you see them, let them know of this. Let them know how grateful you are of them. Because, you know, we know that the more you focus on gratitude, the more your life is going to change and going to evolve. And I shared a post on my Instagram. It will be up definitely. It'll be up by now. I shared my gratitude process. And this is something that I've been doing for quite some time now. And it started to change my life in honestly like 4 days of doing it. And I mean, that's because I've cultivated this like incredible magnetic energy where things, honestly, I can shift things in my life within 2 or 3 days. And this gratitude process is something that really started to evolve my life right before my very eyes. And I'm so happy that I finally found a process that is so simple to do. It does not take long. It does not involve any like complex thinking or take ridiculous amounts of time. More times than not, I do it in my mind if I don't have the time to, or I don't have the space to sit down with my journal. And I call it my 3x3 method. And this is where I focus on 3 gratitudes or wins in the past 24 hours. And then I focus on the 3 goals I'm working towards. And the point of this 3x3 method is, firstly, with the gratitudes, mix it up every single day. Keep it fun, keep it fresh, keep it feeling good, keep it feeling energized. We are not assigning to mundane, to boring, to blah, 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 blah. We are making our mind think outside the box. What is something different we can be grateful for? And I truly believe that there is the most power in being grateful for the most simple things around you, from as little as your drink bottle. I'm grateful for my Frank Green drink bottle. It keeps my water cold. It's sturdy. I like that. I bring it with me everywhere. I like the look of it. Like, see, like it can feel almost sillier to find gratitude in these simple things, but these are the things that matter the most, I believe anyway. I feel like this makes you a pro at being more grateful, because you can find grateful in things that maybe the average person would never think to find gratitude for. They'll say things that, of course, these things are completely and so valid. Things such as our connections, the roof above our head, the food we get on our table, the beautiful, privileged, fortunate life we live, right? But imagine being grateful for the most simplest things that maybe other people don't have, such as a drink bottle. Maybe, I mean, right now I'm filming this and I'm wearing glasses. I'm grateful for my glasses. Like and then the trick is why? Why are you grateful for these things? Like, we are stretching our mind, we are challenging our brain, we are forcing ourselves to not be lazy, right? Especially when it comes to gratitude. And like, of course, this is then going to ripple on into every area of our life. What was that wording there? I mean, that's a whole nother topic there, like the ripple effect, coming back to, I recommended the book, The Slight Edge. Definitely go check that out. I'm pretty sure that talks all about the ripple effect. Anyway, we're really getting off topic here. And then the second part of this process is the 3 goals you're working towards for the year. And the hint here, so the opposite of the gratitude, we are keeping these 3 goals the same every day. And this is because by practicing repetition, we are starting to reprogram our subconscious mind. And I actually heard this process actually on Samantha Daly's podcast. So I'm not taking credit for this at all, but I've always heard to stay consistent. And I've always heard, the most successful people or the people who do achieve their goals are the ones that write them out every single day. And I never used to do this. So this is a whole new practice for me. And it's so cool because you instantly start to memorize what your 3 goals are. The first couple of days, like, oh, what did I write again? Like, let me just flip back in the page. Oh yeah, it was this. And then you're rewriting it. And then eventually, because you've reprogrammed your mind, right? That it's in motion, like it's coming. And now if we can just continue to focus on gratitude, because when we focus on this energy, on this emotion, we are in the space to allow more of it to come through to us, right? So if you're really interested in the whole topics of reprogramming your subconscious mind, I love these topics so much. I find learning about the brain so interesting. Joe Dispenza's books are incredible. I've also got a podcast episode I released it not too long ago. So definitely go check that out. It was maybe 2 or 3 episodes ago from this, all on, I believe it was like the 7 insights to reprogram your subconscious mind. And yeah, I love this topic. It really ties in with, the whole concepts of quantum leaping and manifesting and energy, but it's from such a logical, the opposite of feminine energy, from such a masculine standpoint. And, side note, guys, a huge part of harnessing divine feminine energy is understanding that we as women, we have both, just as men have both, right? We have masculine and feminine energies. And when you're able to harness both and be able to so divinely yo-yo between the two, that is where you are in this goddess energy, right? This beautiful, harmonious, balanced feminine energy. And so I love to bring a lot of that. I mean, in that podcast episode is pretty much all in those topics, but in my coaching, in most of my podcasts, it's all in this really beautiful, free-flowing, expansive energy. Like, I have notes here, but I've barely looked at them, to be honest, because I'm just kind of going on tangents here. And that is that feminine energy. It's that creativity. It's that expressive. It's that free-flowing. And the more we can tap into that as women, just the better your life is going to be, the more emotionally fulfilled you're going to feel, right? And this is why I truly believe this is the starting step to so many things of our life. And I just want you to ask yourself right now that you've absorbed this powerful content from this episode or any other, now that you've absorbed this powerful content from this episode, it's time to take action. It's time to take action towards creating more emotional fulfillment in your life, to creating more abundance. I know I speak to so many of you guys as well, and I know because this was me for the longest time. I knew I wanted more. I knew I wanted to do something more. I wanted to create something of myself. I wanted to do something. I didn't know what that something was, but I knew there was something there, right? And when I really reflect back, it was when I started to learn more about self-development, personal development, divine feminine energy, that I started to get clearer of what this was. And the good news is there are countless ways to make money. There are infinite options available today, from running an online store to freelancing in a creative field to having an e-com business to teaching yoga to having a cafe to selling digital products online. Like the list goes on and on. And these are all so viable. These are all proven to be so successful. I know people in pretty much all these things I just shared that are creating their dreams, that are making money, that are doing things that make them feel energized and happy. And I get this. There's this surge of positive energy, this inspiration, this empowerment. I've dabbled in quite a few of these as well. I was doing freelancing for quite some time. I've attempted to run an online store before. I've sold digital programs. I found that creating a coaching business is in fact what created me the most freedom, alongside feeling the most emotionally and financially fulfilled. So if you are feeling called to explore this path too, definitely attend the free masterclass, because this is going to be all about how harnessing this divine feminine energy is going to unleash, it's going to uncover what that next step for you is. So if you are feeling called to create something to help others, if you're feeling called to have some kind of successful online business for yourself, if you're feeling called to live a more fulfilled life, if you're feeling called to be able to be surrounded by more nature, more abundance, and be living life as you want, having more of that freedom, you have to follow that pull. You have to follow that intuition. That is your intuition calling you. And you, as a woman, as a powerful woman who wants to take charge for her life, your only role is to follow that pull and to follow the path that it's leading you to. And if this free masterclass sounds like something you would love to be a part of, definitely register by clicking the link in the show notes. As I mentioned at the start of this episode, I will be sharing a lot more on the details, on the time, on the dates, on all those types of things on my Instagram, as well as on the podcast over the next few episodes. So you do have time to sit with that. As I shared, when I really wanted to delve more into this world, I allowed myself the time, the space to sit, to be, to sleep on it. I allowed myself the space away from social media. And here I am a couple of weeks later, coming back stronger, brighter, and more radiant, like more than ever, right? And that is the power of this beautiful, slow, gentle living, of being more intentional, of allowing the space, of allowing the time to step into this healed, high quality woman. And I cannot wait to continue to share all of these topics and hacks. And these are just hacks to life, like straight up. And I just want every woman to experience and to go through this, because the more we can tap and harness this divine feminine energy, the more we can live a life of complete freedom and emotional and financial abundance. So guys, that's a wrap on this episode. I would appreciate it insanely if you could please leave a 5-star rating and review on whichever podcast platform you choose to listen to. It helps the podcast get a spike in the algorithm and reach many more empowered women just like yourself. Thank you so much, guys, for tuning in, and I will chat to you in the next episode. Bye, guys. And that's all from me in this episode. Here are 3 ways you can contribute to Start Somewhere. Number 1, leave us a 5-star rating and review on either the Spotify and Apple podcast, or both. Screenshot this episode and share it to your Instagram stories, tagging me at Isabelle Prestia. That's ISABELLEPRESTIA. And lastly, copy this episode URL and send it to a friend who you think will find value from our conversation. Thank you for starting somewhere.